I do want to bring up one post that was made by Mikey Musumeci a little bit ago. He said that moving to the UFC, he had the goal of helping our sport grow so we can make it actually a professional sport. We're on the right path. What is your take on jiu-jitsu being a professional sport and how moving to the UFC helps that?
Yeah, I don't want to get sued, so I got to be careful about what I say here. But I would say that most of the time when people move to the UFC, uh, they're thinking about their own bank accounts more or less, even if that is based on correct or incorrect information or their understanding about how combat sports works as a whole, right? But yeah, I do agree that having the UFC attached to your name is incredible. And it's like, again, most people that started jiu-jitsu are massive MMA fans. And the reason the UFC is such a dominant force in the MMA world is because it's just been every kid's dream that like they want to be a part of the UFC. And the sad realization is everyone thinks they're going to be Conor McGregor. They're going to make Conor McGregor money. They're going to get Conor McGregor stardom. But there's only one Conor McGregor, and the stars in the UFC. It's tough. It's tough out there. MMA as a whole is not a very high paying sport. It's one of those ones where they see those guys on embedded in a rental Ferrari. You know what I mean? Like me as a person that's involved in coaching these guys and see what the financial realities are of these elite level dudes. It's like there is a bit of fantasy involved there, but I will say that yeah, as an individual, when the UFC flashes you on the screen or the UFC throws your name up on a upcoming UFC Fight Pass event on a UFC pay-per-view, yeah, that is I can't deny that is good for the athlete, makes them feel good, makes the athlete's family and friends feel really good about what the athlete's doing. In terms of growing the sport, I think there's many cases to be made that we're not really at that level where organizations are going to be able to compensate you enough in exclusive contracts. So, like, I think that's open to discussion. Made statements about the reasons for people signing these exclusive contracts, and everyone's in a different financial position. If they feel the need to get themselves looked after, go for it. But, as a person who's been offered exclusive contracts and turned them down, I'm trying to think of the bigger picture here. I'm at the tail end of my career. Time's left. I don't have too many matches left. I got different goals. My main goal is to grow the sport. So, like, I personally held back from exclusive deals. Obviously, there is always a number that I'll sacrifice everything. But really, if I could leave a legacy on the sport, it would be putting our athletes in a position where we don't end up in this monopoly where we have no leverage and negotiating power. So I would just say one last thing about that is that if you're an athlete and you have a position of power in the sport, don't forget the value you hold. And that is that if you're truly undeniable, you can sign single match deals, and your power lies in a single match deal, because the one that you're under exclusive contract, you will not be able to renegotiate that contract very easily at all. You are an independent contractor under exclusive contract, which means that they have all the power and zero liability for you. And really, I guess I would say your injuries and anything that comes from the sport. But the exclusivity means that you can't shop around, you can't negotiate, you can't leverage offers against offers, you know? Obviously, in terms of contract negotiation, you can offer single match deal this price, exclusive contract this price. But definitely, I know a lot of you guys out there don't make a lot of money, but hopefully you can find someone in a jiu-jitsu gym that is a lawyer. Like jiu-jitsu is like a secret society. You should have access to someone. You could put out a post, and one of your followers will probably be a lawyer. I would definitely recommend speaking to a lawyer. Um, I'm not going to say if you message me, I'm going to see it and help you, but like I am available because I understand the reality of the sport from both a high level athlete perspective, someone that's negotiated high level sponsorship deals, someone that's ran a promotion himself, someone that's negotiated sponsorship deals for that promotion. So I'm backed by a chosen advisory, Daniel Morsley, Tim Simpson, which are, I think, MMA's premier management team. So like, I'd like to think I have a bit of a good understanding about how MMA as a whole and fight sports contracts negotiations work and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. So if you ever need advice, have helped other athletes out there. So yeah, just think of the big picture here, right? You know, like there's more to gain really in standing up for everyone in the sport than it is just looking at your bank account. So people will say I'm biased because I have my own organization. I don't really. I put one show on a year that's a Super Bowl event. I don't run a consistent month to month organization where I'm trying to make sure our guys don't compete for other shows. If I didn't care about the sport, growth of the sport, I'd probably be signing people to exclusive deals as well. I'd be trying to lock them down so no other show can capitalize on them. But at the end of the day, we are one show a year, and the goal of that show is to raise money for charity and grow the sport of jiu-jitsu. And if you question me, ask yourself, why the fuck is it free on YouTube? I could probably get $2 to $3 million in a network deal to put this on there. I choose not to because I want to grow the sport.